What about forgiving that person who hurt you when they were addicted? How about forgiving that person who hurts you while they're still active in their addiction? This is one of the hardest things to deal through. Somebody who has been addicted, somebody who has hurt you so much, somebody who has done so many wrong things, and it overflowed into your life, and it hurt your feelings, and it hurt your family maybe. How do you forgive them when they should have known better? I would say the first point is to see them through God's eyes. So his lens sees things differently than our lens. And you know that as well as I do. If you're watching this and you're a Christ follower, you understand that when he looks at us differently than what we look at each other. We have done so many things to hurt a loving God in our past, in our present, and in our future, with the things that we will do to hurt him. And he has chosen to forgive us. That doesn't mean that he isn't a just God, because he is. But being just doesn't mean that you have to be hateful or that you have to hold a grudge. Some of you know my story, my husband's story, and know that we have been walking with Jesus for 21 years now, and we have been loving other people who struggle with addictions. And but a lot of people don't understand, by looking at us now, what we had to work through. Some things we had to kind of take slowly, but it wasn't super hard because God did a miraculous thing at once in my heart and at once in my husband's heart. And it wasn't because we followed specific guideline. It was because we were grafted into the vine. It talks about in John 15 how he is the vine, Jesus, and we are the branches. I did so many terrible things to hurt my husband. He did so many things to hurt me. All of that in that world. We had every reason to hate each other, and a lot of memories that were abrasive and reoccurring. And it was the moment that I saw him through the eyes of my Savior that I forgave him. And it was the same with him. And in that moment, we knew that whatever it was that we had to work through was okay. And we would do that. And we did do that. And we are still doing that. You know, there are things every day that we have to work through as a married couple or as best friends. But we see each other through the lens of our Savior. Some of you have had a close family member or friend and have been really hurt by their addiction. And it still stings because they did some really rotten things to you or around you, or it affected your life in a way that made it harder. And I'm sorry, that should not have happened. But I can tell you that on the other side of forgiveness, there's freedom for you. It's not like you're trying to punish them every time you see them. You are actually the one that's being hurt every day by not forgiving. So somebody had said, I'm sure many of you have heard this, it's like drinking poison and expecting somebody else to die from it. And that's what unforgiveness does. And so to forgive somebody, it's looking through the eyes of your Savior at them. And that means let him deal with them justly. I love to quote Matthew 7:3. It says, I think in the NLT, it says, why worry about the speck in your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? The last point that I want to make is that, Jesus draws us with his love, right? And so if you are a Christian and you're watching this, Christian actually means little Christ or Christ follower, somebody who imitates Christ, our Savior. So if we are out there throwing darts at somebody when Jesus wants them to know him so that they can have freedom, we should analyze that, ask God to help us, and then start acting like he would act. Love them and ask him how you can pray for them and tell them that you forgive them and move on, because you don't want to die of that poison you're drinking. You want to throw it away. Get rid of it. It's not making anybody else die. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, pass it on, share it on your social media.